Like many Penn State students, Jason Zubris enjoys a good football Saturday in Happy Valley. Unlike many of his fellow students, he has to spend some time on Saturdays at tailgates explaining bass fishing. You see, someone will notice his Penn State bass fishing hat, and then the president of the Penn State Bass Fishing Club has to tell them this.
We're a group of men and women all across Penn State. Actually, I even had people from certain branch campuses come over. And we just get over, we talk about fishing, we talk about the sport, we talk about learning new techniques, and that's basically the whole premise of the club. But then we get out, we do community service, we interact with the local community, we go down to Harrisburg, we do community service down there, we're involved with youth groups, and so we have our outreach portion there.
Zubris is also on the club's tournament team. We're about to leave the dock and head to some deeper water to learn more about the sport, the club, and Zubris. But before we leave, you should know you can buy the PSU bass fishing hats and other merchandise by contacting the club via Facebook or their website. Now, let's cast a line. Jason Zubris is from Plains, and growing up, he would go fishing with his dad.
He'd always take me out to, in the Wilkes-Barre area, he'd always take me out to Harvey's Lake, and we had a friend that had a dock on there. And we'd go out there at night, and we'd end up fishing for catfish. And we go on Friday nights, and they'd have a little small club bass tournament every Friday night. I'd see them all take off at night and come in. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I always thought it was interesting. So eventually we ended up getting a little canoe, eventually a small boat, and it just took off from there.
What's his strategy at Harvey's Lake?
Whenever I go to a certain lake, even Harvey's Lake, I'll look at the weather, I'll look at the cloud cover, I'll see, what's going on the water temperature. And then you could adapt your presentations based on, say, your weather, your water temperature, the time of year, where the fish do you think are going to be? Are they going to be under the docks? Are they going to be out in front of the docks? Are they going to be along weeds? It's all different aspects of that you have to pick apart and really just narrow down into what you want to throw at the fish. And that could change day by day.
Zubris' first tournament with Penn State was in Tennessee as a freshman. He says there were 260 boats there, and ESPN2 covered the event. He says competitions feature a lot of large and small schools from across the country. They also involve a lot of hard work.
For a tournament, we'll go out 3 or 4 days before the tournament, and we'll be on the water from sunrise till sunset. We use a lot of different electronics, so we'll be using our electronics to try and find out, the hot spots of the lake, where there's pieces of structure, which is basically stuff that's underneath the water that the fish are related to, and just really put the time in to put together the pattern. So the main thing is time. We'll put 12 hours on the water, then go and come back at night, think about what the heck just happened. Sometimes you go 12 hours and you won't get a bite, you'll have no idea what's going on.
Zubris grew up with an appreciation of nature. He was a Boy Scout, and for his Eagle Scout project, he built bat boxes to help the population in Northeast Pennsylvania. Through the Penn State Bass Fishing Club, his love for the outdoors continues to grow.
Fish go back in the water then?
They're all released at the end. Conservation is the number one thing that they look for in the sport. So if your fish aren't alive and well, you are penalized for that. Well, that's the number one thing that I'm really down at Penn State for. I'm an environmental resource management major. So clean water has really always been a passion of mine. And to be able to go out and enjoy that and experience that whenever I'm fishing, I just get more motivation for my schooling. I worked over in the Strand Wilkes-Barre area this year with a nonprofit focused on, taking care of acid mine drainage. So clean water has always been a priority for me, and that really tied into me for the sport and the conservation ideals that I have with it.
Zubris is sharing the love because the Penn State Bass Fishing Club does a lot more than just fish.
It's really awesome just to see how we can go out and help the environment and just the community around us. We'll go down and we'll do cleanups all around the State College area. We'll do stream cleanups, a lot of highway cleanups. Even Beaver Stadium during the football season, we'll do cleanups over there. But the other thing I really enjoy is that we pair up with a few groups down in Harrisburg every year at the Great American Outdoor Show. And we do an event, it's called the Kids Casting event. And basically we go out and teach smaller kids how to cast, and there's a little contest for them. And at the end, every kid, no matter what, ends up getting a fishing rod, and it gets them out involved with the sport and just gets them all outside. And that's the main thing at the end of this. I don't care if you're a tournament fisherman, if you're just going out for fun, just get outside and enjoy it. That's the main thing. And to be able to, encourage the youth to get out there and go fishing, I think that's just the best part of it.
Now you know where Zubris got his hat, about his love of nature, and the Penn State Bass Fishing Club. Guess we pretty much covered everything.
Draw me a parallel. When people think of Penn State a lot, they think of football. If you had to compare yourself on the bass fishing team to someone on the football, are you the Sean Clifford of Penn State bass fishing? Are you, who do you liken yourself to?
The Sean Clifford. Wow, I liken myself to the Trace McSorley. A lot of people would always, doubt him, and he always seemed to overcome adversity. He always has a bunch of energy too. You can't beat that energy, and that's the energy I try to bring to all of our guys. It's hard to get everybody going at 4 o'clock in the morning. You got to bring energy to the crew. So.
Okay, now we've covered everything. For SSPTV Sports, I'm Ken Kara.